Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Thursday, December 28th, 2017. I'm doing the video inside today and I'm going to tell you why. This morning it was 8 below zero here at the homestead, and right now it is 1 degree outside. Right now we hit a high of 3 today. So it has definitely been a very, very cold day. It is now snowing again now. It wasn't for most of the day. The sun was actually out, so we did get some solar today. We ended up pulling in like 0.9 solar today. So right now we're still running on the solar at the moment, so that's not a bad thing. But we're going to have to switch over to the generator shortly. So but that's neither here nor there. But so anyway, I want to talk a couple things real quick. Kind of some of our not always daily routines, but routines that we have to do. One of the daily things we have to do is, like with the wood stove, we pull the ash out. Now somebody had mentioned not having an ash box. I do have an ash box underneath here. I really don't use it because the hole to push the ash in is like that big, and it's a pain in the butt. You have to pull the plug out and then push the ash down into it. It's just easier for me to scoop it out and put it in the ash bucket. So we basically do the ashes every day because at this time of year we're burning 24/7. So you want to make sure you're keeping your ashes down in the fireplace. A couple questions that somebody had asked as well. Well, so let me go on with it. So then, like today, a couple days ago, we had brought wood in. We still had quite a bit of wood left, but I wanted to really get loaded up, so we brought more wood in today and loaded up with that as well. So that's not always a daily chore, maybe once every 2-3 days, depending on how much we bring in. But we really brought in a lot, and I'll show you that before the video's over. We brought in a lot of wood, just so we're over amount of what we have. So we have that as well, and so that's something that we have to do every day. This time of year, the cats are in the house more. We have 2 litter boxes that we have for the cats. So one of the chores that the kids have is they have to empty out the litter boxes and put in fresh litter. That they also did today. That's generally this time of year, at least a once a week thing. Just because with 5 cats, we got a lot of cat litter and stuff, and they're not going outside as much because it is so cold. I think Buddy's probably the only one that's been out today. And he literally goes out for maybe 5 minutes and then he's back in because it is that cold out that nobody wants to go out. The house itself is very, very comfortable. It's very, very warm. The wood stove kicks out a tremendous amount of heat, so that really helps. Now you guys will see the kettle on top of the wood stove. That is strictly for water. We put water in that. I fill it up every day, and that water evaporates and puts moisture back into the air, because with a wood stove it just sucks all the moisture out of the air. So with having the kettle on and just water in there and letting that evaporate, it puts that moisture back into the air. So that's why we have that on there, just so you know. So if you have a wood stove and you're going to heat with wood and you're thinking about going this way, you definitely need to think about having that moisture put back in the air, either with a humidifier or with something like this, which is really very passive aggressive. You just put that kettle on there, you fill it up, and you just let nature do what it's going to do. And it works really, really well. It doesn't get so dry in here, because if it gets too dry, you're going to end up having nosebleeds and stuff like that. You're going to have a lot of problems. So you need that moisture back in the air. So that's something as well. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you? Obviously, cleaning off the solar panels, that is a daily job, especially if it's been snowing. So this morning, after I woke back up, there's maybe a dusting of snow on all the panels, so I went out and I cleaned those off. And like I said, now it's starting to snow again. It's just a light snow. It has been so cold. We're definitely in a cold streak right now. 8 below is probably the coldest that we've been up here since we've been up here. It might have had a couple colder days, I don't remember. But we're in a stretch right now where they're talking for the next couple of weeks we're going to be in the deep freeze. So, you know, again, it's wintertime, it's that time of year. What are you going to do? So that's what happens. So, but anyway, like I said, the wood stove is freaking absolutely awesome. It definitely keeps us toasty warm. The kids were sleeping obviously through the night. I came home this morning, there was hot coals on the fire. So I just fed the fire and got it going again. And realistically, that's all it took. The house was very comfortable, even though the fire had burned down and it was just hot coals. So I kind of wanted to explain that to you as well. I'm trying to think, what other like daily things that we do? You know, if it needs things to be shoveled out, you know, keeping an eye on the generator, making sure the generator's good. Keeping an eye on the batteries. Now right now we're running on the solar, like I said. So this time of year, you don't want to draw your batteries down too much because of the fact that you don't want them to freeze and then break and then you're destroyed your batteries. So I will be honest with you, I baby the crap out of my batteries. I want them to last me at least to 10 years. I will probably, with my next set of batteries, go with a different route, to be honest with you. Something that is, you know, was a lot of comments when I talked about the batteries of which way we should go. And I definitely listened to that advice. I want something that's going to last me a lot longer than 10 years. It's going to cost a lot more money to get those type of batteries, but that's okay. We will make that investment at that time. I'm really excited for the year coming up, to be honest with you. I have a lot of projects planned, a lot of plans in place that I want to get done. And hopefully, you know, a couple of things are going to happen next year, which are definitely going to free up some money for us here at the homestead. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I have owed the IRS money because when I worked for myself for years and years and years doing Medicaid cases, they never take taxes out, and so every year it ended up being that I would owe more and more and more to the IRS, to the point where at one point I owed the IRS $33,000. That's a lot of money, and when you're looking at that, you're thinking that there's no end in sight of ever getting that to the point where it's going to be paid off. Well, I'm happy to say, hopefully, that with the tax return, once we get to our taxes this year coming up here, you know, in February or whatnot, I'm hoping to have the last of that IRS paid off this year. And if it's not, it should only be maybe $2,000 or something like that left. And once you go looking at what it was and where it's at now, it's a huge, huge difference. And so that is a light at the end of the tunnel, so that's a huge thing. This next year, as you guys know, the building will be paid off. That is now our home. And so that's going to free up money as well. And that won't be until October of this next year. But again, a light at the end of the tunnel. And the beauty of what we did with this, and somebody had said to me when we first bought the building, oh my God, you're just going right back into debt again. And so I had to look at things realistically. Because of having my surgery, I wasn't able to do what I had wanted to do as far as you know, building and getting things done. So I had to make a choice. In the building, with buying the building, it was a 3-year thing of payments, 3 years of payments, as opposed to somebody going and buying a house and having a 30-year mortgage. Okay, I was looking at 3 years, and yes, it would suck to have a payment for 3 years, but at the end of that 3 years, it's free and clear, and I'm not going to owe anybody anything on it anymore after that, which is a absolutely awesome feeling. So I looked at the short term as opposed to a long term, and it was definitely the best option at the time that we had, and it's worked out really, really well, because even though it's small, we have a comfortable home, and we're able to stay warm and everything, and that makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so that's, you know, so and like I said, I have a lot of projects planned for this next year, so I'm really excited about that as well. So I wanted to show you, got a couple of gifts in the mail, and so I wanted to share those with you. All right, so the first one that we got, and these were both sent by the same person. This was sent by Patches. He sent the replacement for the South African flag. Okay, so as you guys know, my other South African flag ended up being beat up and in a mess and had to be disposed of. And so I had put a call out and asked for people if they would like to send replacement flags, if they would. Patches sent out the South African flag, and then he also sent me a flag that I did not have before. And so he sent me, I will show you this one, the South Korean flag. So I think that's really cool. I'm looking forward to flying them in the spring when the weather turns nice. So now we have the replacement South African flag. We now have the South Korean flag, which will definitely be obviously going up as well next year. I have somebody else had just sent me out a new Canadian flag, so I should be getting that. I looked today to see if that had come in, and it had not come in yet. He ordered that on Christmas, so you know, within the next few days, early part of next week, I should have that Canadian flag as well. So basically, first of all, thank you guys for sending those out. Now, just so you know, guys are aware, Patches is going to be doing something, and he did not ask me to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's going to be walking the Appalachian Trail, I believe, starting in February, and he plans on doing a vlog of that. He's 65 plus, and so he's going to do it from an older person's perspective. He plans on walking the entire Appalachian Trail, which, if anybody knows, is over 2,000 miles. And so he's going to start that, I believe, in February. He lives in Virginia, so he's going to start that hike. And he's going to be, if you want to go to his channel, look, it's Patches. And so check him out. And he's going to be doing that, and I think that that's real interesting. What I want you to do, Patches, in the comments on this video, please put it out there so that people know the link to your website, so that when you start your journey they can follow if they're interested, okay? I just think it's really cool. I think it's a good thing that he's going to be doing, and I think it'll be really interesting. And I for one, will definitely be watching, and I think that'll be really, really cool. So anyway, that being said, you know, so I have the replacement for the South African flag, the new South Korean flag, which thank you very much for sending those out. That's appreciated. I have a new Canadian flag coming. The ones that still need to be replaced, if anybody's interested in wanting to send me a replacement flag, I need another flag from Great Britain, obviously, and so that one needs to be replaced. I have the Dutch flag was also had to be disposed of, so that one needs to be replaced. If anybody's interested in sending that, or if you want to send me a flag from your country, I would be more than happy to fly that. The reason that I do fly the flags, and I'll explain this to you real quick for my newer subscribers, to me it's a brotherhood. We are all in this together regardless of what country that we're in. And so, you know, we need to work together and realize that we're all in this together, and that's why I fly the flags, to show my unity for my brothers and sisters around the world who have that prepping mindset, who want to live off grid, who want to be free. That's why I fly the flags, okay? So anybody that wants to send me a flag of your country, I'm more than happy to fly it. I have the Australian flag, I have the German flag, I have the Swiss flag, I have the Swedish flag, and what was the other one that I have? Oh my goodness. Obviously I have the United States already, and so I'd have to look and see. I can't remember. I think I have one more. But anyway, anybody that wants to send me the flag from your country, I'm more than happy to fly your flag, guys. It's like I said, we're all in this together, and that's what I think a lot of people don't realize. I mean, I don't care if you live in Mexico or you live in Canada, you know, here in the North American continent, you know, we're all in this together. Europe, everybody in Europe, you guys are all in it together as well. I mean, you're across the pond, but you're still our brothers and sisters, and we care about what happens to you, and I want you all to be safe. You know, all the folks down in Australia as well. I mean, you know, we need to be ready, and so I will continue to encourage you to do that, especially, you know, we're going into the new year. Have your plans. This cat is an absolute nut job. So anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to show you a quick pan of the wood that we brought in so you see that. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. So, you know, it's really, really important to tell the people that you care about how you feel. And remember, guys, it's STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever goals you're trying to reach, you can reach them. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is yourself. Nobody else is going to stop you, okay? So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I hope your week is going well. It's almost a weekend again. Okay, I'm going to put you down. I know. I know. Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Let me show you what we did here with the wood. Give you an idea. So yeah, we got a lot of wood in here. We should. That's probably, you know, 3 maybe 4 days worth of wood. So we're going to be ready. Okay, guys, I hope everybody's doing well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1.